Welcome back to Elevation Perspective. My name is Mark, joined today with Frank Tropiano and Anthony the Heel Romano. Boys, we have SummerSlam to talk about here. It's a two-night event. Before we get into the card here, there was some rumbling, some rumors that you two might be going to this event at MetLife Stadium. Do we have an update here? Are tickets bought? What are we thinking?
No, absolutely not. When I
No.
was when this was a discussion, they were like 70 something bucks, and I was like, that could be it. When I looked today, it was like 130, 140. So I guess the announcement of the cards have really, this was for Sunday only, by the way. I think the announcement of the cards might have affected ticket prices because I will say the cards are not really balanced. I think Sunday's card is pretty stacked, whereas Saturday's a little less than stellar.
Was that to get in or was that for nice seats?
That was the cheapest ticket to get in.
Wow.
130, 130, 140 in that range.
That's kind of the problem with this whole thing, right? Is like at a football stadium, like you can't just get in, right? You got to sit like somewhere. Like if you're sitting in the farthest seat away at a football stadium, like you are seeing barely anything, like it's kind of the problem is that you gotta get close to the action in a football stadium.
All right, let's talk about that card now. Heel, you kind of alluded to it. It looks like the Sunday card is a little bit better here, but we'll start off with Saturday. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross, they got a singles match again here. Don't really know why, but pretty quick here. Frank, who do you got and why?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Cross because that's the only answer here. Look, they could just have Sammy win and triumph, but if it happens, you can't expect anyone to take Cross seriously. So if we're done with Cross, then fine. We can just say, okay, we're done with Cross and that's it. But if we're planning on making Cross anything, he has to win this match, no debate. Sammy will be fine with a loss. He's Sami Zayn at this point. He's got that aura about him. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that would happen in this match that would make me interested is that if Sammy turns and joins like Cross's whatever Cross's motivations are, like Sammy joins and becomes sort of a heel moving forward. Other than that, I don't really know what the point of any of this was. If Sammy wins clean, then I would assume Karrion Cross just goes back into irrelevance. If Cross wins, but nothing happens with Sam, I mean, Sammy basically said, "Oh, if I win, I'll say you were right." What that means, I don't know, but I think it kind of needs Sammy to turn here to make it something interesting.
I don't think this should be a SummerSlam match at all. I get it, it's too nice. We gotta fill out a card now, but this is a Raw match. We've seen this match already. I'll take Cross too because how how could he not win? How is this? What's the point of this if he doesn't win? So I'll take Cross too, but I don't think this is going to be a very exciting outcome here. Our next match here, we have Roman Reigns and Jey Uso taking on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Heel, start off with you first here. Who do you have winning and why?
I mean, I'm gonna take Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. I think you bring back Roman. He lost at WrestleMania. I don't really see a world where Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker win this match. I mean, I guess Jay could lose here, but Jay's lost a lot lately too. But I feel like you have. I don't know what the story is going forward. To be honest with you, if Seth's going to be out for a long time, I don't really know how long and Braun and Bronson are going to be linked up with Roman and what this is going to turn into. So I don't really know what the long term story is here, but um, I think I still see Roman and Jay winning, especially without Seth to kind of lead them. I don't know. This is one of the bigger matches that they're promoting for this weekend. So I don't know. My lean right now is with Roman.
It does feel a little bit complicated how we're gonna get away from this match and not make Braun and Bronson look bad. How we're gonna further this, Frank. I know you mentioned it to me. You kind of I don't know if you believe it's gonna happen, but you said to me Braun and Bronson should win.
They should win. It's a chance to elevate two talents that are kind of forced to be on their own without their leader. Like, I can't think of a better way to put them over right now. If you don't, you are in a way putting over Seth Rollins that this faction isn't all it's cracked up to be without him leading the ship. So I guess I could see that. You know what I mean? It definitely does that. But I just think that if Roman's going to go away again after SummerSlam, then he can go and get beat. You know what I mean? Like, it's sad to the point that we've gotten with him, but like, losses don't really matter for him. They can just pin Jay. They don't have to pin Roman.
My question to you is what does Braun and Bronson do after this, whether it's with Roman or not? What is their path forward? Because without Seth there, it's like, okay, like are they going to get into the mix for championships? Like what is their ultimate plan now without their ringleader?
I think it would be to just wreak havoc on the roster until Seth gets back. Just just go out there, be menaces, take all the baby faces down that they can. They're gonna have to start these one-off feuds every single time. Like it works with Roman and Jay. Will it work with Penta and LA Knight? I know those are like the two punchlines of this entire event because they're somehow both not on this card. But how are we gonna get them from A to B? And look, if you can always group two people together that were not together before, and you can use this idea of them being a cohesive unit, and they keep running through these big time baby faces. Eventually, when Seth is back, boom, you have them win the tag team titles like right away, and then you've established them as like this cohesive tag unit. I think that's probably the way to go.
I don't have a right answer, but I feel like that's not it. I feel like that would get boring very quick. No, I'm not even like taking a shot at you. I'm just saying like I feel like that would get boring very quickly, very stale. I think Braun Breaker is being positioned now to be a top guy. I don't know if that happens immediately post SummerSlam. If maybe he starts a program with CM Punk if he wants to hold the belt now. I don't know how we get there next. To me, Bronson Reed feels like a lackey. I don't see any kind of serious future for him. I know that's kind of a controversial statement to a degree, but I think Braun Breaker is the meal ticket. He's the future face of the company, and Bronson Reed will be on the sidekick, big guy helping out.
I think Bronson definitely has a lower ceiling than Braun, but I think that he could hold the world championship at some point in time and it not be the craziest thing in the world. I think of Kane, I think of Big Show and their roles.
I was going to say Big Show. That's kind
Oh,
of what you're about, but not nearly as good as Big Show
well,
was.
I'm talking about like the initial Big Show was obviously everything that everyone says he was. I'm talking about towards the older end of him, the late 2000s, early 2010s Big Show, right? Guy who's always around the second main title picture and then just kind of works his way from there. So he'll always be like a big deal, but never the big deal, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's fair. I think just my overall concern with this whole storyline is just I don't know where it goes. And we've gotten into, what Roman's relationship with Paul Heyman, and we finally, learned some of those motivations and stuff like that. So I guess the big question ultimately is Roman sticking around for a while, and what is the long-term vision for the Bronze and the Bronsons without Seth Rollins, assuming Seth is going to be out for a long time.
Just a yes or no from both of you. Any chance here we get another member debuting here to help Braun and Bronson win this match?
Yes, I think there is a chance.
Okay.
Maybe not in this match, but I think in the very near future, like maybe Monday on Raw, there's a chance.
I think it would certainly help. I'm also going to say yes. There's definitely a chance. I'm not gonna say it's 100%, but I'll say more likely than not likely. But that's probably
Um,
like 51%.
I would lean more likely to.
Okay. All right, moving on here, we have another kind of crazy match. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll taking on Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Some kind of rumors out there that Drew might not be able to be at the event. I think it's kind of been debunked, but he's having some kind of issue with his passport, his visa. But Frank,
He did post a video today saying that he's good. He's in the States. He's good to go.
perfect. Thank you for that update. Frank, I'll start with you here. How do you feel about this match? You guys know how I feel, but Frank, give us your take.
Yeah, I mean, it's that video that's been going around on Twitter, right? Jelly Roll hits the Starship Pain, 1, 2, 3, and we have ourselves a Jelly Roll and Randy Orton stand tall. No, I was sour on this match, but everyone's like, oh, he's not gonna be able to do anything. Now I'm like, all right, go out there and prove them all wrong, right? We've gotten really lucky with some of the celebrities lately. We'll scrap Travis Scott from the record, and we'll just talk about Bad Bunny and Logan Paul, who's obviously still doing this. Maybe Jelly could put himself in that mix, of great celebrity appearances.
Two things. One, I love the storyline that they've given Logan for this, where he is the longtime ring vet who's annoyed that a celebrity is trying to break into the business. I think it's great. He's doing a good job with that. Second of all, I'd be a huge hypocrite if I didn't say I like this, because I was very critical of WrestleMania that they didn't have something like this. If you're going to extend SummerSlam to 2 nights, you need a little bit of involvement from some sort of pop culture. Travis Scott did not fill that void for me at WrestleMania. To me, this is good. And honestly, they've done a really good job building it. I maybe would have been a little less high on it if the build was crap, but they've appeared on late night talk shows. They've had good segments. Jelly Roll obviously has been working hard in the Performance Center. So I think I'm gonna have fun with this match.
I will say that they've given this a lot of attention, and it's been good attention. They've done different things outside of TV time to make you care about this. I feel bad for Drew still. I think it's not an ideal spot for Drew McIntyre, but we all have Jelly Roll winning, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think Jelly and Randy are
Yeah,
gonna win.
I think so. I mean, look, and to your point about Drew, right? Drew's standing opposite of Randy Orton, right?
And Jelly
So,
Roll.
right, but I mean, Logan's standing opposite of Jelly Roll in all of this, right? So I think this is okay.
I almost feel like this should just be a singles match between Logan and Jelly Roll.
Could we get Jelly Roll for? Could Jelly Roll go for a full singles
No,
match?
this is
Probably
Like
this
not. That's
that's
no,
probably
this is
why
the
it's
this
not
is the
that, but
better yeah, this is the better way to do it for
all
sure.
right.
seeing them double team Randy the whole entire match, then Jelly Roll getting this hot tag is going to be. I'm very interested to see what that hot tag is going to look like.
I mean, listen, I know you're saying you're feeling bad for Drew. I don't truly know what's in Drew's heart, but it does seem like Randy's having a good time with this. So, everything they're saying off air is that, these guys enjoy these little one-off opportunities. I'll take them at their word. It's fun.
All right, this next match. So far, we've been very by the chalk. We're all in agreement on the winner. Is never great when that happens, but maybe we have our first differentiate here with Tiffany Stratton taking on Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship. I'll let you go first here. Who do you have winning this match and why?
This one's a tough one. I
Yeah.
think you could go either way. I'm going to choose Jade to win this. I've said on previous shows that we've done, I think before Evolution, I said I was ready for Tiffany to drop it. I didn't think she was going to drop it to Trish, but I kind of, was hoping that the cash in was going to come against her. Obviously, that's not the way it all unfolded, but am I super excited about a potential Jade title run? Not really. The SmackDown Women's division right now, at least in the singles side of things, is to me a little bit up in the air right now. Maybe this will energize it. I don't know, but I'll pick Jade.
I think the world is expecting Jade to win. So if they wanted to throw us for a loop here, I think they would do Tiffany. I think it's a good chance to do so. So I'll actually take Tiffany here. I'll take the other side. I'll say Tiffany retains, and I think that they could potentially turn Tiffany heel to give her back that heel character. I just don't know if the crowd is going to not cheer for her. You know what I mean?
That's
Here.
the thing, because I wouldn't mind that, but is turning on Jade enough to get people behind? I don't think so.
I just think at the end of the day, she's a incredible heel. Like
Yeah, I
she just
agree.
she like tells you she's better than you, and then she does flips in the ring and like proves it to you. Like I just think she's a great heel. So I hope that they're moving back to that with her, but it'll be interesting to see.
It does feel painfully obvious that Jade is in the position to win this match. Also, I think previously we talked about this possible match as the perfect spot for the Naomi cash in, and that, of course, has already happened now, so that's no longer an element. I think Bianca Belair is still a player here, whether they want to send her out there and have her cost Jade the match, or maybe help Jade win the match to continue whatever they have going on. I have a hard time seeing Jade lose this match, though, so I'll agree with you, heel, and we'll take Jade to win this match. Next up here, we have our women's tag team championship match. We have the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez taking on Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I've really enjoyed everything that Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair have done, the backstage skits, everything they're doing out there in the ring as well. I'll start with you, Frank, here. Who do you have winning this match and why?
I'm gonna take Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I think that they, like I said, on the last I think pod that we do when we were just reviewing that entire weekend, Saturday night's main event, Evolution. Charlotte looked the best I've seen her in. She just looked like she was having fun. She would look like she was having a good time. So let's capitalize on that because she's one of the best wrestlers in the world when she's on. You know what I mean, male or female. So let's just give them those belts. She clearly seems like she's having a good time and she's entertained. And I think Alexa Bliss brings a lot of good things out of her too. I'm taking Charlotte and Alexa.
Yeah, this one's a tough one too.
Yeah.
I kind of would lean that way, but I don't know. Part of me thinks that maybe the Judgment Day just retains here, and this is maybe our our turn, our Charlotte versus the start of our Charlotte Alexa turn, you'd like to think that at some point they're going to have a match with each other. Maybe they keep it going for a while. Maybe they give them the titles. I'm trying to figure out what their plan overall with the Judgment Day is going to be. And obviously, that's going to play into Dom's match here coming up in a little bit, too. It is an intriguing storyline to keep the titles all within that one stable on Raw. You kind of just put this pairing together. I'm going to stick with the Judgment Day. I was going to pick the
Wow.
Charlotte and Alexa, but I'm going to stick with Roxanne and Raquel.
I just think Charlotte and Alexa, this pairing now, this odd couple, is so over, and the fans want them to win so much that if they were to lose here, I think you're right, and that would accelerate the breakup. And they would. I don't think we want that yet. I think we have to further see what this is and give them a title run and see what happens. But doesn't have to be here necessarily. They could lose here, maybe win at the next pay-per-view, whatever it might be. We also have Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan can come out there and cost the Judgment Day. There's a lot of different layers here as
Yeah.
well. But I do think this is Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss winning the titles. And for our main event of Saturday night, SummerSlam Night 1, we have Gunther, the champion, taking on CM Punk for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Heel, you go first here. Who do you have and why?
As we've gone through this, a lot of these matches really could go either way. So I will commend them for that. This is obviously another one. I'm hoping beyond hope that this does main event the show and not the tag team match. I think that would be a huge mistake. This should be the focus point of night one. This is a world championship. This is CM Punk's second title match. And it's crazy to think, but I think I'm going to pick against him again. I'm choosing Gunther here. I have to believe that there's a reason they've decided to run back with Gunther as their champion. To have him lose to Punk would feel like kind of like what you've said the whole time, Mark, that it was just a big waste of time. The last 7 months of what we've done has just been a complete waste of time with Gunther. If he goes out and beats CM Punk, it would be the most legitimate win he's had since his first time winning this World Heavyweight Championship. It would actually make him a real threat going forward on the roster as far as, he's in a match with so-and-so. Gunther could win this, because so far when he's faced up against Cody and with Jay and Sammy at the last WrestleMania, he's lost those big matches. So I feel like to continue the story you're telling with Gunther, he has to win. That being said, it is CM Punk. It would not shock me if he won either.
And I'm looking at the card and my predictions myself, and I do have a lot of new champions, so that does kind of raise the question here: is Gunther going to retain? And I get what you're saying about legitimizing him as this guy, and they shouldn't have done all this. They shouldn't have walked back Jey Uso if he was just going to lose here. But also, like you said, it's CM Punk. And Punk can lose 10 matches in a row. He's still going to be CM Punk, but should he lose his first two title shots? Like, I don't know if that's a great idea either. Frank, what do you think?
I'm going to take Punk here. I've thought a lot about this, and this is truly another one that I really do feel like it's 50-50. Flip a coin, right? I'll take Punk because I'm more interested in that. I'll also take Punk because I think that there's a chance that if look, we don't know what's going on with Seth Rollins. They've been so low key about it, right? Like we get one report that says one thing, one report that says another thing. Nobody actually knows. Usually when they're going to be out for a long time, like with Liv Morgan, for example, right? We knew right away, right? So look, if it's a work, Punk's going to come back. He's not letting CM Punk hold that title. He might cash in mid-match like he did circa WrestleMania, but I just think we need to get the title on Punk. So that's who Seth cashes in on. And if we don't give it to Punk now, and Rollins is coming back in the next 2 to 3 months, right? Are we running this feud back again? Or are we like, how do we get that belt on Punk? So I think now's the time. I don't know what happens to Gunther after though. So I think that's a legitimate point from the heel for sure.
And that to me, like the MetLife crowd plays into it, because obviously they're going to be super pro Punk here. And to see him lose, to see Gunther go over, he's going to get major heat from that. My other conspiracy theory, I have no basis behind this, but I also feel like too, at some point, we're more than half a year into this Netflix, endeavor. I feel like the titles have to change shows at some point. You got to get your main title on Raw at some point. So I think sending Gunther to SmackDown makes more sense if this is to happen. If let's say if John Cena loses, that belt maybe comes to Raw, or even if John Cena wins. I feel like we need to get the undisputed title on their undisputed number one show sooner rather than later. So that's also just a conspiracy theory that I
Frank, I know there are some, like Heel said, conspiracy theories out there that Seth's injury is far overblown and he is closer to returning than we did initially think. I know you said maybe a mid-match. I think that would have to be post-match, Punk celebrating confetti, the whole nine, and then Seth's music hits, and that could have a really incredible impact. I'm going to take CM Punk as well here. I know all these points are really valid. I think it is 50-50, truthfully. I will say, I don't think Gunther would win this match clean. Do you think I think there would be some kind of like hijinks, something weird, a ref bump. I don't think Gunther would get a clean win over Punk here. Do you guys agree or disagree with that?
I think there'll certainly be hijinks, no doubt about it. I mean, I don't think Punk has lost clean more than once or twice since he's come back,
He's
without
been
any
very
type of
protected. It's taken a lot of finishing moves to knock him down.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it wouldn't shock me one bit if Gunther had to resort to some tactic to win this match. Even we could see the Braun and Bronsons get involved and maybe tease something. You know what I mean? Like that's not out of the realm too. The other thing I was thinking too, now that you've both said this, it just kind of came to me like, what if Seth is hurt? They wouldn't do this, but what if Seth is actually hurt, but the Bronze and Bronsons come out and attack Punk, and Seth cashes in even though he's hurt and wins the title, and now he can't. I don't think they would ever do that, but it would be something to see Seth kind of steal the belt away via his goons and get that heat, because that would be real heat if he didn't do any of the work to win the belt.
So I thought you were going somewhere else there. I thought you were going to say, "What if Braun Breaker steals the briefcase and cashes it in?"
No,
I don't know if that's
no, no,
allowed, but
no. I don't think that's allowed.
The one thing I'll say about the Rollins injury is that we truly don't know. Nobody knows except for
And
Seth.
that's good.
And
That's
yeah,
good.
that
yeah.
and exactly what I was gonna say. That is a great thing. Like I don't wanna like be like rude or disrespectful in any way by saying like, oh, this might be a work. Like if it's a work, great. And if it's not, get well soon. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is, it is. But like if it is a work, really good job. You know what I mean? And if it isn't, that's okay too. Like be okay.
All right, let's move on to night two now. First off, we have our crazy multi-man tag match. Let me go through the names here. The Wyatt Six versus Andrade and Ray Phoenix versus the Street Profits versus Motor City. Motor City Machine Guns versus Fraxium versus DIY. Tables, ladders, and chairs. I think we all know this match is going to be phenomenal, but there's a lot going on here.
This is going to be awesome. I can't see a world where they screw this up. And even if it does get like a little out of control, like the guys in the ring, they're all, for the most part, like all a bunch of vets. Like this is just going to be a great match. And I'm just really excited for it. I'm glad they did this because all those teams, and we talked about this privately, right? But there are a few teams that were even like left off of that grouping that we were like, how are they not
Pretty
in?
deadly.
Yeah,
Pretty
Pour
pretty
one out
deadly.
deadly.
Pour one out.
So I'm excited. I'm glad these guys get their due, and I think they're gonna go out there and kill it. This definitely has match of the night potential for sure on a stacked Sunday.
I'm between two teams here, Frank. Give me your pick for the winner.
I'm bouncing back and forth between back to the Street Profits or the
The
Wyatts.
Wyatts. Yep, me too.
I'm gonna take the Wyatts. They need to retain. They need to retain.
Wow, I'm picking Andrenics. I think Andrade and
Oh,
Ray Phoenix are the pick here. Honestly, I think all six of these teams probably could win this match because why not? I agree with everything Frank said. It is going to be a very fun match. Most of these teams have done this the post WrestleMania match was awesome with them. So now we're just adding a couple more players into the mix here. But no, this is the most fresh thing that Andrade's done since his return to the company in the last year or so. And we haven't seen a ton of Ray Phoenix's potential. I think this is an opportunity to put the titles on them, maybe put a fresh face at the top of the division, and they don't have to hold the belts for long. They could drop it to someone else the next week for all I care. It is just cool to see this division have a lot going for it, especially on the SmackDown side. I think I jokingly texted you guys they should just make SmackDown the tag team show, and I don't even think that that's a crazy idea. Get rid of the Raw tag team belts and just make tag teams compete on SmackDown, and you have a better product. It would be more entertaining week in and week out seeing those teams compete for something.
I'm going to rule out Fraxium. I know we said that maybe all six teams have a shot here. I'm going
I
to rule
don't
out
think that's
Fraxium.
fair at all. I
I'm going
don't
to
think
rule
that's
out
fair at
Fraxium.
all.
I'm going to cross them off my list here.
I hope
It has been.
Praxium wins now.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny if the one team I'm ruling out wins. That'd be pretty good. I'm a little surprised, and I have enjoyed it with Andrade and Ray Phoenix, but there were some initial rumors when they got Penta, when they got Ray Phoenix. Eventually, they're going to put them back together as the Lucha Bros, where they've been in AEW and other promotions. But no, it's worked so far. I'm going to take the Street Profits. Either one of two things are going to happen here. I think Montez Ford has an insane spot in this match. Like he jumps off a ladder onto like the 10 guys below, something absolutely ridiculous, or they win the match. I'm not sure. Maybe both. I'm not sure which of those two, but I'm going to take the Street Profits to win.
I think it's a really fair guess. Like I honestly, when we say anyone can win, I don't know why you're counting out Fraxium. I see, to me, on the bottom of the list would be the Motor City Machine Guns and DIY because they had just
Yeah,
had
it's kind of for
reigns.
me too.
The Street Profits would win them back, but like those two have like kind of checked off the boxes. Fraxium's a fresh face, and if we're trying to make all these teams legit, which is what it seems like they're trying to do, then they're a team that hasn't won yet. So that's why I thought like Fraxium was actually like probably my third or fourth choice. Out of six, that's not very high, but it's also not that low.
All right, Andrenix for heel. Frank, you're taking the Wyatts, and I'll take the Street Profits. Let's have fun with it.
Are they officially calling them Andrenix?
Nope, but I am.
All right, that's a heel nickname. You heard it here first. If that gets big.
All right, next up here, we do have the Intercontinental Championship match between Dom Mysterio, the champion, taking on AJ Styles. I have loved this feud. It's been so good every week on Raw. I know Dom's running around saying, I'm not cleared yet. You can't touch me. They have AJ dressing up and doing like silly things every week and trying to like coerce him into fighting. I'm not really sure what he's doing, but it's been really funny. I've really enjoyed it. I'm really torn on this match too, where I feel like AJ probably wins, but maybe just keep this on Dom.
I agree with you, but I'm picking AJ. I think if AJ is going to continue to be a member of this roster, we have to do something to legitimize him. It's been way too long in recent years that he's kind of just existed and been a part of these cards. But he faced Logan Paul at WrestleMania. It was entirely forgettable. Give him the Intercontinental title. He can feud with Dom for 3 more pay-per-views for all I care. This has been amazing. Dom is not necessarily hurt by it. I mean, Dom's red hot. They could easily keep this on him. We saw the video of him appearing at AAA. The crowd went absolutely bonanza for him. Maybe that's where he goes. There's so many things Dom could do right now, and it would be good. But I feel like as far as the Intercontinental Championship, I would like to see it on AJ Styles.
I'll give you some long-term booking here. I think AJ is going to win, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this is going to set up the match. AJ Styles versus John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship. Actually not arguably, John Cena's best in-ring feud came with AJ Styles circa the SmackDown Live time. Those matches were electric. John won his 16th world title against AJ Styles. Like, that is a match that if you're doing this with Punk and you're doing this with Randy, AJ deserves a spot in that because at that time, he pulled maybe some of the best in-ring work out of John Cena that anyone's ever pulled out of him. They deserve one more chance to run it back, and it's going to be for the title that John never won too. So for that reason, I'm taking AJ Styles. Although I do have to note, we got on EO for not defending the belt once since winning at WrestleMania. Now Dom was hurt, so it's slightly different, but he also has not had a defense since WrestleMania. So it's going to be hard. 0 defenses.
That's a mid-card title that Dom holds.
No,
the women's
absolutely.
championship.
Absolutely. He was hurt. It's a lot different.
And he was hurt.
But I feel like we should still acknowledge that, one of the points that we had made was, can EO lose this title after not defending it once since WrestleMania? Well, now we've done the full quarter, basically, of the year, and Dom didn't defend the title once. So we're dealing with something similar there, at least. But I still don't think that that's enough to keep it on him. I'm going with AJ Styles. I want to see John versus AJ.
I love your theory, Frank, and I hope that happens in Paris because that's the last time that we got the great chance for AJ Styles, and that was the last time it felt like AJ Styles being in a match was something huge in WWE. I mean, we saw obviously what he just did in TNA. That was different, but that would be a lot of fun. I'm all of a sudden in on that, so sign me up for that.
I like it too, Frank. That's a really good, well thought out theory. I think that makes a lot of sense. So clean sweep there for AJ Styles winning this match. Next up here, we have Solo Sikoa taking on Jacob Fatu in a steel cage match for the United States Championship. This is kind of like fun thrown in there. A steel cage match on SummerSlam, that's kind of cool. I feel like, I mean, it's a steel cage match, so I think the whole entire like story will be how can the goons get in if there's a steel cage, but they're gonna climb up there, they're gonna take the thing and break open the lock. But I'll take I'm gonna take Solo here. I'll take Solo to retain. Like I said, they're gonna stack the deck, they're gonna do all the nonsense, but his guys will find his family tree will find a way into that cage. They will take out Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you here. I told you, Mark, from the second it was the match that Solo was going against Jacob. I took Solo. I said I was going to pick him till he won the championship. Then he won the championship, and I said I was going to pick him until he lost it. So I'm sticking with Solo. I think he's going to win this match.
Completely disagree. I think the whole reason you make it a steel cage is to keep those damn MFTs out of that thing. I think they're going to try and get in there. I think the Samoan werewolf's going to turn them away. I think this is Jacob getting the belt back. I don't know. To me, honestly, why would you make it a steel cage if they're just going to go into the match anyway? I know what you say, Mark. They're going to try. They're going to do some shenanigans. They're going to be there. Oh no, you're not going to climb down on my watch, and all of them. Taller Tonga is going to be out there, but I just I think Fatu's winning this match.
Okay, that's fair. This next match, these stipulations crack me up. We've talked about this as well. Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. No count out, no DQ. If Valkyria loses, she cannot challenge Lynch for the title again. I know why you put these stipulations in. It's to add that extra oomph. It's like this is such a great feud. I don't think it's been that great of a feud, but this is such a great blood feud, and this is the last straw. If she loses, that's it. I hope Becky retains. Lyra, I'm not excited about her or the idea of her winning this title back. I'm going to choose Becky. It's probably 50-50, but heel, who do you have here?
I think I have Lyra. I don't know. I said to you guys, I kind of just want Lyra to turn and them to team up at this point because their matches have been fine. I haven't had any real major issues with them. You know, Lyra's been getting better. I don't know exactly what happens after this. I don't know what Becky's, long-term goals are. So it's tough. It's like she's probably not, in the mid-card conversation for very long here. So maybe you just use her to make Lyra look strong and let her exit stage right. I don't know. It should be a good match. I think that's at the end of the day, it's been a decent story, a little confusing at times as to the directions that they've gone. Bailey's kind of just existed. That's the other thing. I'm not exactly ruling out her appearance here now that it's a no DQ match. She had a segment the other day where she basically said, I missed WrestleMania. Now I'm going to miss SummerSlam. I don't know. Give me
Would
Lyra.
she in this Bailey scenario? Because I actually don't know. Would she help Lyra or Becky in this hypothetical?
I could see her just taking them both out and just being angry at both of them and just laying them out and leaving. Maybe that's like her heel turn. I don't know, but
No,
yeah.
Bailey deserves better. Hopefully they have something planned for her. It feels like they never do. But I'll take Becky. Heel will take Lyra. Frank, who do you have?
I'm gonna take Lyra. This feud has fallen really flat for me. Thought Becky had the really cool return, and then since WrestleMania, I don't know. There's just something about it that just feels like it's missing. It feels like it's not right. I'm gonna take Lyra. That's just a guess. That's literally just a guess. I don't have like a long-term booking thing. I don't have a reason why. I don't think Becky Lynch needs the Intercontinental Championship long term. So I think that's probably the reason. Let's give it to Lyra. She can't not challenge for her belt. You know what I mean? She's the Intercontinental Champion. That's her belt, you know? So we got to give her back her belt.
I think in theory, they're hoping that all of this makes Lyra into someone who you could pick for the Rumble. You can expect to start next year becoming into that world title mixture and into that scene. She's probably not far from that. You can tell her reactions are getting bigger. People are doing the little woos in her song. So yeah, I guess just give me Lyra and we'll see what happens.
Next up here, we have Naomi versus Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. I don't think there's a whole lot to dissect here. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but Naomi has to win. I'm sure she'll pin Io Sky. I don't think they'll have her pin Rhea Ripley, but Naomi just cashed in here. She just won this belt. She has to win.
I agree, as much as it pains me to say, but no, I do agree. And Naomi's been outstanding in her work, especially since cashing in and winning that championship. She's been a great heel. It's been refreshing to have her involved in the Monday Night Raw scene. It's interesting the amount of other women that they've gotten involved with all this. They've got Stephanie Vaquer now in the mix because she's got a title match coming, and then I think Nikki Bella was in a tag match with them the other day. You had the Chelsea Green angle and all that. So there's a lot of other extraneous players here. I'm not saying I don't think they're all going to get involved in this match, but it is interesting that like the title feud has involved like 7 other women superstars. So that part of it's been interesting. But yeah, I think we're in for another phenomenal match. Anytime you get these, especially Rhea and Io involved, I think it's a great match. I know Frank disagrees, but give me Naomi.
Listen, I think Naomi wins this, and I think that title stays away from both Io and Rhea for a long time. Hopefully, like Heel said, there are plenty of girls ready to step up and take on Naomi. Stephanie Vaquer has the next title shot. Nikki Bella, what do we bring her back for? We're not going to have her feud for a title sometime down the line. I don't buy that at all. And Chelsea Green is supremely entertaining and great and should absolutely get a title opportunity. They put her with the secret Hervis, you know what I mean? So like she can be legitimate in any title shot with the two of them pulling the strings like behind the ref's back and everything. So I think there's plenty of great new feuds we can work on Raw. Don't ruin this by going back one of the other two. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, another clean sweep there. Then we will all take Naomi to retain. It is now time for our main event of night two of SummerSlam. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, a street fight for the undisputed WWE Championship. There's a lot here. There's a lot to unpack here. John Cena, of course, is on this Never Seen 17 run, his farewell tour. This could be where it ends. Otherwise, I don't know why they put Cody in this position. Heel, I want to hear your opinion first here. How do you feel about this match? What do you think happens here?
They went a very interesting route that I don't know if I necessarily saw coming with the entire John showing up to SmackDown and basically saying, I'm not going to be there. I got a movie. Like that was his way of getting heat. And then Cody takes the contract and sends him through a table with like a cross body. It was barely even a splash. Interesting way to set up the street fight aspect of it. I don't mind. Every single one of John's matches has been a street fight already because poor Charles Robinson or whoever the official's been has just gotten brutalized in all these matches. So it's about time we just get the stipulation out of the way here. Part of me needs the final boss to show up here.
Yes.
In my heart of hearts, I don't believe that's going to happen. But again, why make it a street fight? You know, why set it up so that there's something that can transpire other than someone hits someone with a chair or the title. I mean, we know the title's going to come into play. We know someone's getting hit with the title in this match. It's probably going to be the finish.
And the seeds they've been planting here for Cody to turn have been anything but subtle. Like at this
Yeah,
point, they're hitting you over the head with it. They're like, he is going to turn on John Cena. And we know at some point John has to be faced for the end of this farewell tour. So just on that alone, like Cody comes out of this a heel with the belt or not.
If Cody's a heel, he's leaving with the belt. I don't think there's any question
I
about
believe
that.
so too, but I think he's
I
gonna
was
be.
I was I was going to say I think he could leave with the belt and not fully be a heel yet, but have it be very much because listen, at the end of the day, he's mad at John Cena. John Cena's been an a jerk to everybody.
Yeah.
In storyline, he has a reason to not be happy with John Cena. That being said, he could do things in this match to signify whether the final boss is there or not that heel turn is coming, and then maybe finalize that in the coming weeks. But yeah, you're absolutely right. If he turns heel, he's 100% winning this match.
I think before you even answer the question of who's going to win the match, you have to answer the question: would they actually turn Cody heel? Like, would they actually
Yes,
do it?
yes.
I'm arriving on yes, but for whatever reason, there's this idea in the back of my head that they just won't do it because it. Besides for when he's wrestling John Cena on his farewell tour, he has been over. He has been over as a babyface. That's impossible to do. They got him to that spot. So I don't know because you don't want to wait until the crowd boos him. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to wait until he's booed as a babyface and then be like, all right, do it. But there is no question with Roman, coming and going as he pleases. Cody Rhodes is the undisputed face of the WWE right now. Are they going to turn him heel? I think it's a bigger question than I look, let's put it this way. If he turns heel, he's leaving with the belt. I don't think there's a question. If he doesn't turn heel, I still think he's leaving with the belt. I'm just going to be disappointed about it.
Here's my question: if he turns heel and takes the title off of Cena, Cena's what? All of a sudden, just a babyface again with no repercussions? Like
I think they would.
Does the magic switch just happen here? Is this a double switch where he just, oh my God, I was wrong the whole time? Like how does this happen?
I was about to say, I think they've teased it enough with Cena where he's hesitated, but then actually done the dirty thing. So this is the way they do it. I mean, or there's two ways. If the final boss comes out, right? Cody and Rock could team up and take out Cena, right? Like it could look something like that. Rock looks like he's about to start beating up Cody, and then all of a sudden he beats up Cena. Cody's sitting there smiling. He knows the whole entire time. I think that's one way they could do it. I think the other way they could do it, if there's no Rock involved, Cena's got that title. He's about to do what he's done, and then finally he drops it. Only this time he's not low blowing Cody. He goes for a punch, right? And then Cody low blows him. That's your double turn right there, right? Cena had his face moment. He finally did the right thing. He finally got back to the roots, and Cody was the one who then, after seeing that John was going to fight clean, fights dirty. And I think that's all they need to pull off the double turn there.
Heel, I think it is The Rock involvement, and I think you have to do it in a way that The Rock comes out, starts beating up on Cody, kind of says, John, come here, like, your turn. And then John says, no. John says, I don't want to win like this, whatever it might be. Maybe John gets physical with The Rock, maybe he puts him up for the AA, and then Cody low blows him, crossroads. I think that effectively does it. Maybe that aligns Cody with The Rock, maybe it doesn't, but there has to be, and that could be Frank's theory too. There has to be some kind of defining moment of, okay, this is our John Cena. He's back. Like he's not going to take the shortcut here. Like he is now a good guy, and we have to support him for the last couple of months.
I was gonna say my other point would be, and I know we talked about the AJ Styles, blah blah blah, but after this, it's like, okay, now Cody's a heel. What's next? Because to get that intense heel reaction, I feel like you almost need another match with John, that insane babyface reaction that he's finally going to receive to further that point of, all right, Cody's our bad guy now. Because otherwise, I mean, how do you what's the fallback after turning against John Cena? Now he's gonna what, defend against Jacob Fatu or somebody like that? Like, I don't know. It just would feel so underwhelming, but I don't
That's
know.
fair. That's fair, but I don't know if that's likely or logical for a third match between the two
I
that
agree. I
John will lose.
agree. I absolutely agree. But it's like, I feel like and I don't know the answer to this, but like to legitimize Cody as the heel that people are legitimately going to boo, because if you're going to turn Cody, he's got to be like your top heel. He's
Yeah.
got to be the baddest of the bad. You need someone to go up against, and I feel like you need someone almost right away. And
I
I don't know.
think I think from there, from Cody's heel turn, you then turn it around, and we talked about John playing his greatest hits, right? We're gonna have Cody playing his best friends. I
I
think
guess it could just
Randy,
be Randy.
I think
Yeah,
they Randy has to step up to him. Sami Zayn is gonna have to have the moral compass
Jey
conversation with Cody.
Uso.
Jey Uso, exactly. So I think he has enough good guy equity for those people to then go up to him and be like, "What the heck, man? You can't do that." Just as John did, right? Just almost mirroring John Cena's heel turn, right? So I think there's enough there that they could pull that off. I just feel like, man, the crowd has wanted to cheer for John Cena. Just let them cheer for John Cena, man. Just like turn them face and let them cheer for John Cena. I don't know if it's not coming now. This is the biggest show he's going to be a part of for the rest of his career now. It's this and Survivor Series, and I don't think Survivor Series is on the level of
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. I think it's a big three, and then a fourth that's bigger than the rest of the pay-per-views. So it used to be a big four, but they don't treat it like that anymore. I think that this is the time to do it. I think you'll get an insane pop again from the crowd if John throws that title away or whatever he does to say, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm not being the bad guy. And then Cody can crush everyone in the crowd's dreams and everything. I don't know, but I just want to see John go good again.
I'll say this. If this is it, if this is the end of John Cena's heel run, I will say that the best moment of it was the first night, and it's not even close. And, to think of the reaction that Cody got when he told The Rock to go F himself, and then the heel turn was just an unbelievable moment that I know everybody was buzzing about. And I just feel like there were moments where it was okay, but they never fully hit the notes that I think we all were hoping they hit with this. And I am also ready to see it end. I would not be upset if John Cena finally did turn here at SummerSlam.
The heel turn as a whole, the whole run has been relatively underwhelming, like you're kind of alluding to, but also nothing they could have done would have topped the initial moment.
100% fair. I think to me the biggest issue was WrestleMania, both the build leading up to it with John appearing 3 times overseas and that was it, and then obviously the involvement of Travis Scott, which I mean, boy, did they not wait very long before they trashed this guy. I mean, they couldn't even wait till this story was finished before they threw this guy under the bus. So it's it's unfortunate that they clearly are letting factors that aren't just the story that they're trying to tell influence the stories that they're telling. And so, I mean, I haven't watched Unreal yet. I haven't seen some of the behind the scenes stuff, but I mean, we're in an era where you really can never be sure what's going to happen or who they might get involved with. You know
It
what I
could be a
mean?
work. Travis Scott could be their guy. We can hear Fiend on Sunday and be really upset. It's possible.
I was gonna say, I honestly, wouldn't they save face more though if Travis Scott showed up to SummerSlam on Sunday?
Hundred
Like
percent,
they would
hundred
save
percent.
more face at this point if Fiend hit and he came back out there and it was like, all right, and then John Cena's like heel, like oh, like he made Travis Scott tell them that he wasn't interested anymore and stuff like that. And then he
All you
comes
have
out
to
the next.
do is say Travis Scott is the final boss's guy. He doesn't work for Triple H. He doesn't work for TKO. He works for the final boss, and he does what he says. He doesn't have to show up to any performance. I mean, listen, again, we've never heard Travis Scott speak on the mic on WWE television, so we don't even know any of his motivations for anything he does. So, regardless, we're
You
getting
know,
off track here,
You
but
know, in the WWE 2K video game, when they show like the showcase mode with these great moments that happen in history, and the people they don't have the rights to are blanked out
yes,
for this iconic moment of John Cena turning heel, they're gonna have this little like blur on the side with John and The Rock looking at each. I don't know, I just thought of that and I started laughing. But no, maybe it's all a ruse and he'll be there on Sunday. That would be terrible, but maybe. Two questions here. First, do we all have Cody winning this match?
yes.
Yes,
Now, this might be two yeses and a no. I'm going to say yes. Do we have The Rock showing up on Sunday?
no.
You were my no.
I think he has to.
Yep.
I think for them to save this, he has to. And it would make a lot of sense. Obviously, they're selling this new Netflix show, which I have thoughts about. I haven't watched it yet, but I think it's like a shoot, but it's also a work. I think a lot of stuff that are happening in this show that they're telling people, oh, this is so real. This is how everything is behind the scenes. I think there's some funny business going on with this show. We can talk about that at a different time. But regardless, if you want to tell people this is the final boss, he's a phony if he doesn't show up here. This is the end of the final boss as we know it. If he is not involved with this, I will stake my reputation on that comment.
And they know how much of a negative reaction they got from the WrestleMania match. Whether it was by design and John Cena was ruining wrestling, that's why the match sucked, and that's why it was no Rock and it was Travis Scott. Whatever you want to come out of that, it was a very underwhelming night two main event that left a lot of fans upset. They know they have to deliver here. This has to be a spectacle. We have to have run-ins. We have to have pull out all the stops for this match. So I think it has to be The Rock as well, and that's where I stand.
I wonder if somebody we're not expecting could get involved here. I don't even know how it would fit in, and they probably should just not do it because if I'm sitting here saying like I don't even know how you get this person involved, like I do wonder if again you said it, Mark. They had that stipulation for a reason, right? So if we're assuming that Travis Scott is dead to the company, and the Rock doesn't show up, right? Then that stipulation does become a little useless, right? So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. Look, I hope that the Rock shows up. I just feel like I've gotten my hopes up too many times, and you know what? That main event at WrestleMania would have been absolutely fine if the Rock was there. He didn't even have to get physical. If his music hit after Travis Scott's music, no one would have cared that Travis Scott is not even like talked about in the company anymore. You know what I mean? No one would have cared at all.
Someone who could show up, I don't think this is going to happen, but someone who could show up and steal the spotlight would be Roman Reigns because John Cena did that to Roman back a couple years ago. It was that Money in the Bank. He showed up at the end of the show and took the whole spotlight. I guess this would be if Cena won, or even if he didn't win, but Roman Reigns could get involved potentially as another option. And he fits into the final boss storyline. We assume in some capacity. We don't know how really yet. At least this version of Roman Reigns and this version of the final boss. But just throwing it out there.
Final point here. You want to throw everyone for a real loop? I'll use my same reasoning that I used for Evolution. Everyone in the world thinks that Seth Rollins is going to cash in. Like if Seth Rollins were going to cash in this weekend, it would be on CM Punk. It would be on the World Heavyweight Championship, right? Get him involved in this match, and I don't necessarily even know if I want it, but it would throw everyone in the world for a loop.
That's fair. Boys, it's been a lot of fun. I'm actually pretty excited. This is two solid cards here. I think we all said that night two was a little bit better, but should be a lot of fun. I know we're gonna hang out Sunday night and watch John Cena's what could be his last title match. So it's kind of an emotional subject, but guys, it's been a lot of fun. Everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.